What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Shonen Showdown. I'm your host, Robinson. To the right of me is
Scott.
And today we're going to be talking about some Dr. Stone. Finally. We all know about the Kingdom of Science. We all know who leads the Kingdom of Science. Senku, our very own. But he can't really do it by himself. He has a lot of great allies with him. But we want to know who is his greatest ally. So keep it locked. Alright, Scott. What are some possible candidates for Senku's greatest ally?
There's a bunch of choices actually that you guys can pick. You got to think about there's Suika for one. In the recent episodes when she led, the soldiers from the Kingdom of Might to the area where there was poisonous air, she took them out pretty much. Mm-hmm. So. And she does a lot of good detective work. She's a good support character, but I wouldn't necessarily put her as number 2.
Okay. Suika's in there. I think Kohaku's another great one that's in there. Kingdom of Science, the very best offensive talent in that kingdom for sure. She's even teaching kinro and ginro how to box. You know what I mean? So she's a very big asset when it comes to, battling the Kingdom of Might later on in the series. Any other people that you think are possible candidates?
You got the obvious pick, Asagiri again.
Mm-hmm.
He does a lot of he was a double agent starting on his appearance in the show. Now we kind of seen that he's for the Kingdom of Science. But he does a lot of good work. He likes to manipulate people, and even though he can't fight and he's not that smart. He is smart, but not that smart scientifically in terms of compared to Senku. But he can manipulate people into doing what he wants. So that's, he's pretty good.
All right, and I'll even speak about another double agent, Taiju, who is, currently working undercover in Tsukasa's empire right now, the Kingdom of Might. So we already know that he is, a very strong character. He's going to be doing a lot of big things in there as well. And we can't forget about Chrome. Chrome is obviously, Senku's, best worker when it comes to working alongside with science, because Chrome was basically the scientist for his village prior to Senku arriving there. But this is by far, I gotta say, is probably one of the hardest debates that we've ever really done on the show, because there's a lot of great talents in there. And to pick the very best one is kind of... I'm not too sure I have one right now, Scott. I think you gotta go first.
Yeah, sure, I'll go first. This actually was not hard at all for me.
Really?
Not at all. I have an obvious reason, and when I was going through the picks, I could not find someone who was a better choice. I couldn't do it. I tried, but the number 2... the greatest ally in the Kingdom of Science.
Try carefully.
Is obviously by far Taiju.
Wow.
Obviously.
Oh, wow.
You got to look at everything that Taiju has done from the start of the show till now. Okay? Taiju was the first person that Senku revived because he knew he needed the brawn to help with his brain power to start up the Kingdom of Science, right?
Right.
And even after that, Taiju was the first person to find Tsukasa. If you think about it. So without that, the lions would have ate them alive in the jungles before that. So even when you add on to the fact that Taiju, along with Yuzuriha, brought back Senku from the grave, that's the second time he's brought Senku back alive. So without Taiju, there would be no Senku. There would be no show. So for that reason, I'm going to pick Taiju.
See, I can't even say I'm mad at that pick because there's a lot of great people, in the Kingdom of Science. But Taiju, see, when I'm thinking about it right now, honestly, I'm torn between Asagiri again and Chrome, actually. And I think I'm leaning right now currently more towards Chrome. I think I had to go with Chrome strictly because he pushes Senku's abilities further than anybody else in this series. He's the only one that he tries to rival Senku's, scientific prowess with his own. And that forces Senku to actually even become even more innovative than he already is. We see this even with Chrome, you know, developing the hydroelectric plant. I mean, that is something, him thinking of a water wheel coming from what? What does he really have to go off of? There's many different things. Even when you have Senku and Magma falling into the pit hole in the cave, you know, Chrome thinks outside of the box and says, listen, let's put some water in here. Let's see if they can swim to the top. And Senku thinks about it and says, oh, wow, like, that's a great idea. And, you know, Senku always has to expand upon Chrome's initial, you know, thought process, because Chrome is just so creative naturally. So when I look at it from that perspective, I see Chrome basically, you know, pushing Senku, right? He's a great manual laborer at that point as well. And he's also basically, he is basically the, you know, the fill-in Senku. Whenever Senku has to go somewhere or has to do something, Chrome is the next up that everyone looks to and says, Chrome, what do we do? Senku's not here. And when I look at it like that, I gotta say that, you know, Chrome is probably the best ally for Senku right now. And that's no disrespect to Taiju. But even when you're talking about Taiju being, you know, that key role in the initial push of Senku's, you know, creation of this kingdom, I gotta even throw Asagiri again, I think, over Taiju, strictly because he has information on the Kingdom of Might. I think that is the biggest thing that Taiju is right now is currently trying to find out certain things about, you know, Tsukasa, but Asagiri again coming to Senku and actually becoming a traitor to Tsukasa was probably one of the biggest shifts in the series, because you have, you know, people like Hyoga pulling up to the village, and Asagiri again is literally, you know, lying to him, lying to Tsukasa, preserving Senku and letting them live a little bit longer, having them think that, you know, they have guns ready when they really don't. I mean, those are some big moves. Tsukasa right now, if he wanted to, could actually pull up on the Kingdom of Science and do damage. But right now, he doesn't really know. And that's strictly because of Asagiri again. He doesn't know whether it's safe or not. And I think, you know, he's a really big piece. And I have to put Chrome over him, but I think Asagiri again is right there as well.
You know, those are some good picks, but so you're gonna pick Chrome?
I think Chrome is a bit. You go with Chrome. I gotta go with him. I have to.
That's a respectable pick. I could you know, I could agree with that.
It's hard though, man.
However, one kicker, I would say those three are definitely top three choices.
Yeah.
But one kicker that's really pushing it over the edge for me, for Taiju,
okay,
is that in the coming battles, in the coming episodes, we know that the Kingdom of Science is gonna attack the Kingdom of Might. Right? We know that. We know they're gonna be undermanned. We know they're going to be, we know they're not going to have enough soldiers, fighters to take on all of Tsukasa's people. We know that for a fact.
Right.
And we also know that, like you mentioned before, the double agent Taiju is the only person in the show, let alone in Tsukasa's life, as he stated in episode 3, that was able to take a full direct attack from Tsukasa and remain standing. That's Taiju.
Right.
So I'm thinking Taiju's going to come in really handy for these battles to come. And I honestly can't see Kohaku. I know she's going to come back with a round 2.
Hold on.
And I know it's going to be a crazy fight.
Yeah.
But I don't know if she has the power.
You don't know if she has...
I don't know if she has the power necessary.
All right, this is where we
to take out Tsukasa.
This is... All right.
Taiju,
whoa.
Taiju got it.
Yeah, all right. All right.
Taiju got it for sure.
You said a lot here. All right. First of all, no disrespect to Taiju, but Kohaku gets busy. I mean, you have her teaching kinro and ginro how to fight against the likes of a magma, who we know it has power as well. So if you're talking about Taiju's power, I want to throw names like magma in there. I want to throw names like, you know, I can't necessarily say kinro, ginro right now, maybe kinro, but I would throw Kohaku in there as well, because I think she is very talented. Remember, she was one of the first people that was scrapping against Tsukasa as well, and yes, she ended up under the tree, and she didn't obviously win, but Taiju didn't win his battle against Tsukasa either. So I gotta look at it from, you know, both of those perspectives and say, you know what, I think Kohaku is gonna be a big piece in bringing down Tsukasa. You know, Taiju's obviously another big piece. But right now, I think they're equal. I don't know if Taiju really has a step over, because he does not really know martial arts to that extent. He's just powerful. whereas Kohaku is not as
just
powerful
got
as
that brute
taiju.
strength.
Right, but she has martial arts to back it up. She has technique, she has skill, which is why she's teaching other people how to fight. So I really think I don't know, man. That's tough. And you have Magma as well.
I mean, in all honesty, if we see a joint meetup and Kohaku goes and they have a little training arc and she teaches Taiju how to fight, it's over.
Then that's a problem.
That's it.
I agree.
That's
that would be a problem.
But
that would be a problem.
That's probably not gonna
but guess who
happen.
has? But guess who has Taiju's strength? And he can also fight. That's Magma.
He don't got the martial arts on the level of Kohaku though.
Not on that level,
Nah.
but he was the only one. His only threat that he worried about in the village was Kohaku. He wasn't worried about Kinro or Ginro or anybody else, right? So that's when we have to look at it like that as well. He can also fight. So it's gonna be very, very interesting. But I'm going with Chrome. I think Chrome is up there. You're going with Taiju.
Yeah, I'm definitely going with Taiju.
It's tough. It's very, very tough. You guys have to let us know. Anybody's really up if you make a solid case for him. So with that being said, let us know who you think is the greatest ally for Senku down in the comment section below. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Peace.